What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Q&A. In this Q&A, we're going to start off by talking about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been blowing up in terms of popularity and price, and I have been getting phone calls and emails and texts and contact from friends of friends of friends and family and all this kind of stuff. And people are like, should I invest in Bitcoin? And I'm like, if you could do the research. So just like with anything, you should understand what you're investing into. If you can't understand it, no, you should not invest into it, because then you're just blind. So with Bitcoin, so some people were asking, do I even own Bitcoin or stuff like this? And I've been in Bitcoin, I've owned Bitcoin since 2013, and I followed it prior to 2013. My main concern with Bitcoin back then was that the core of Bitcoin, to me, the production of Bitcoin was flawed. So a lot of people I knew, I was looking into mining Bitcoin, and a lot of people I knew were mining Bitcoin. And after doing the research, it was clear to me, people who were mining Bitcoin and making a profit were actually thieves. They were stealing electricity either from their parents, their dorms, something like that. The people who weren't thieves weren't making money mining. So to me, I was like, oh, this is probably never going to work, because nobody can actually mine Bitcoin profitably without stealing electricity. So that was my main concern. And then also there wasn't really any use cases yet for Bitcoin. People weren't really transacting. There were a few things from time to time, but it was very rare. So then around 2013, I started to see that, well, first of all, companies were getting into Bitcoin not to sell mining rigs, but actually just to produce mining equipment for themselves, mine Bitcoin, sell the Bitcoin, and profit. And that was a very good signal to me. That was, okay, now it's legit. The mining process is legit. But I also realized the value of Bitcoin isn't really necessarily, the core of Bitcoin isn't mining Bitcoin. That's not true. The core of Bitcoin is the blockchain network. And so once I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, it's different. I was looking at it in terms of, mining Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and all that. That's not quite where the value is. So that was when I got into Bitcoin. And then I actually started doing automated trading of Bitcoin in the markets, because the markets were so volatile. There was a lot of money to be made there, especially in when I first got started. And then as time went on, I started trading for other clients and stuff like that. And I actually did that for quite some time. And I stopped doing that, though, because people are people, I guess. And so the main issue I had there was, so for anybody who stuck with it for a long period of time, so because basically, at least what we were doing was a grid strategy, which might mean nothing to you, but basically you would sell as price would rise, and then you would buy back as price would fall. And so you would just keep doing this, even with little changes, like little ups and downs, but also big ups and downs. And over a long period of time, that would make money. But over a short period of time, what was problematic was, as Bitcoin would rise, the clients would pour more money into the accounts. So in effect, what they were doing was buying the highs, and then as Bitcoin would fall, they would lose their mines, and they would sell Bitcoin. So in effect, locking in the lows. And and then what would happen is, on a long enough timeline, people would, you would keep having to adjust the start time of the performance of the account, and then people would be like, oh, we're not beating the market, what's going on? And I'm like, well, you're buying high and selling low. Right? And so that was really annoying to have to explain to people over and over and over. And when I finally stopped taking clients from the beginning to the end, I think price started around like 600 or something like that, and then at the end it was like a little over 1,000, and I just went through the entire thing, and it was like, anybody who stuck from the beginning to the end made a lot of money. They beat the market. But the problem was, people are people. They buy high and they sell low. So they're just irrational. So I stopped doing that. I found that to be very stressful and just not all that enjoyable. So I don't do that anymore. So anyways, then I kind of lost my interest in Bitcoin around 2015, 2016, because fees got really high. So you couldn't transfer like $100 without paying like an 8 to 10% fee, and also it would take a while. So it was like, well, why wouldn't we use PayPal? Or if we wanted to move a large amount of money, we would just do a wire transfer. So again, I kind of started losing faith in Bitcoin because the use case was going away. Also, not only just quick transactions and low fees was going away, but also centralization was happening, both in terms of banking, mining, and really also exchanges in general. So there's only a handful of exchanges that are being used now. There's only really a handful of banks, and really arguably like 2 banks, right? Maybe three, like maybe Bitstamp, Coinbase, and Blockchain.info or something like that. I'm sure you can find graphs online of like who has the majority holds. And anyway, it's very centralized. And then with mining, it's all in China. And so with all this centralization, it's again, I'm starting to see like, I'm not sure about this anymore. But at least in terms of transaction speed and fees, the Lightning Network update to Bitcoin is set to kind of fix that. So historically, Litecoin has been the quicker and cheaper way to transact Bitcoin. Like Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoin's gold, as you might hear. And so Litecoin did have a purpose up until the Lightning Network, and now the reason why Litecoin is rising is, my guess would be that people get on these exchanges and they're like, oh, Bitcoin is $16,000. I don't want to buy that. But Litecoin, it's only $200 or $300. I'll buy that. And I think that's what caused that to go crazy. I don't think Litecoin's going to hold, but we'll see. And then there's Ethereum, of course. I'll bring these over too. So one thing I wanted to point out too is like the high for Bitcoin on Coinbase was 19,340, but if you look at the other exchanges like Bitfinex, it was 17,200. So that over $2,000 discrepancy. That's because people were going to Coinbase and just buying on Coinbase because Coinbase is an easy exchange to get onto and buy Bitcoin. That's where you're seeing that $2,000 difference. That's a big deal. And that just tells me a lot of probably uneducated investors just got into Bitcoin there. And that presents a pretty substantial risk because it's easy come, easy go for a lot of people. So I feel like if Bitcoin was to hit like 14 or even 13,000, there's going to be a panic for sure. But, whatever. So anyway, yeah, so then we have Ethereum, which does have a use case, but it appears that use case is making a lot of money really fast and scamming clients. So with the ICOs, it's a cool use case, it's a cool idea, but unfortunately people are just super greedy, and I'm not sure that's going to pan out very well, but we'll see. People said the same thing about the internet. It was mostly scammers and that kind of stuff. So, and a word that I probably can't use because I'm going to get demonetized, but we'll talk about it later. Anyway, so with Ethereum, like I get contacted at least weekly, but usually multiple times a week by some ICO, some company that's wanting to have an ICO, and they're like, they just want me on the team. They don't talk about the product really or what I'd be doing. All they talk about is the ICO, how much money I'm going to make in the ICO. And I'm just like, clearly that's all you care about. And so, yeah, dangerous for sure. And then, of course, like I said, Litecoin, I think this is just people panic buying because they don't want to buy a whole Bitcoin, and they think for whatever reason they need to buy a whole Bitcoin or a whole coin at a time, which obviously you don't. Anyway, yeah. So that's my answer on Bitcoin. The other questions that people were asking was on Adpocalypse. Have I been affected? Yes, I've been affected. Historically, it hasn't been too bad for me. Ad rates, like on the GTA series, were like 1/20th of the typical ad rate just because it was self-driving cars in GTA. And that just tanked my ad rate for that series, which was unfortunate. But I didn't want to change what we were doing it in. And also, that was where it was supposed to be. Like, Grand Theft Auto is a great environment for AI. So anyway, that was frustrating. And so, yeah, I feel like that was somewhat impactful, but whatever. And then I was pretty much okay until very, very recently. My last 3 videos in a row have just been bam, 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 just demonetized. I have no idea why. It's super annoying. And it's been, chatbot number 8, the last Q&A, and then chatbot number 9, all demonetized pretty much instantly. But it's weird because sometimes you'll upload the video and it's monetized for like 5 to 10 hours and then bam, demonetized. And then other times you'll upload, bam, it's demonetized immediately. And then other times it might be 2-3 hours or whatever. So anyway, it's super inconsistent. And their suggestion to you is, well, upload it as unlisted. And then I guess wait 5 to 10 hours at least before you, and I would say probably wait 24 hours before you actually publish it publicly. But to me, I feel like that's so backwards. And like, what about the people who are like a news channel or product review where like it's really important that you're like the first or one of the first. Otherwise, you're not gonna rank. And so like that sucks. And so like what I don't understand is, okay, what about like, why not channels who have, I don't know, pick a number, 10,000 subs, 100,000 subs, a million subs, I don't know, pick a number, and give them the benefit of the doubt. So when I upload a video, if I say this is good for, it's not going to be, if I say this is suitable for advertisers, I mean it's suitable for advertisers. So when you demonetize my video, the first thing I'm going to do is request a manual review. So why not flip it around? If somebody uploads a video and it says it's suitable for advertisers, but your stupid algorithm thinks, oh, our captions, which are, we know their captions are super flawed. Like, I've seen so many examples where the caption thinks I've said some crazy stuff, and I don't have a crazy accent or anything like that. So to me, it's like your caption, going off your captions, which they haven't really come out and said exactly all the things that they're doing to detect a video and why it might be demonetizable or bad or not suitable, but we're pretty sure it's captions, title, description, and keywords, stuff like that seems to be coming into it. And but their captions are so flawed, they're not even good captions. It's like, anyway, so why not so let's say for me, when I upload a video and I say, yes, monetize this video, I'm giving you my word, it's suitable, right? And if your algorithm detects that, oh, something's wrong, okay, do a manual review. Don't remove the monetization status. Do a manual review, because if you demonetize my video, the first thing I'm going to do is hit request a manual review, which, by the way, can take up to 7 days. So why not just reverse that and then have like a 3-strike system? So again, you wouldn't do this for every user account. You would do it for the user accounts with 10,000, 100,000, whatever subs or view number you want. But, someone with something to lose, and then have a 3-strike system. If they violate it and you say, nope, this really is not suitable for most advertisers, okay, give them a strike, right? And then eventually you can remove their YouTube partnership after 3 strikes or something like that, where this way people aren't losing that initial boost of views that they would otherwise be able to have, both in terms of releasing on time, and then if they do decide that, okay, well, this is really a newsworthy event, I need to release it right now, they're not going to lose that boost of views and or the boost of ad revenue. So like for me and my channel, it sucks, it's annoying, but it's not really a big deal, because like 99.9% of all my views come from older videos. They come from videos even from years ago. And so it hasn't really, it's just mostly been annoying and tedious for me. And now when I used to just upload videos, and like whenever I was done recording, I'd upload, boom, hit publish. But now I can't do that. I have to upload to unlisted and then wait 5 to 10 hours and then hit request a manual review. And then every few hours or whatever, I'd have to check, did it get reviewed yet? Right? Because the other thing too is they don't email you, they don't notify you when it's been demonetized, they don't notify you when it's been remonetized. They're just it's so black box and hidden from you and secret. It's like, I don't know, it's very unfriendly. It's not the right way to go about it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Adpocalypse and being demonetized. Again, it's not even really that negatively impacting me, but I can only imagine what it's like for people that are like running any sort of news channel or current events or products, and there's probably a bunch of others, or like a vlog. I mean, I guess you could push your vlog out one day beyond or whatever, but again, like all that kind of stuff, it's like, man, that's a lot of people that are being, and if they're as unlucky as I am, like, it just seems like every video I'm putting out now is going to be demonetized. I'm curious when I put this one up if it'll be auto demonetized. But anyway, that's all for now. If you guys have more questions or whatever, feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you in another video.